Our guests this week are Julian Temple, film director and video maker, best known for the Sex Pistols and McLaren movie, The Great Rock and Roll Swindle, who's shortly flying to Mexico, maybe, to make a new video for the Stones. Marc Almond of the critically acclaimed Soft Cell and more critically abused Mark and the Mambas, and Annabelle Lamb, the singer-songwriter who currently has a hit with someone else's song, The Doors' old classic Riders on the Storm. Gary Newman started an extensive British tour yesterday, the first home dates he's played in 2.5 years. It's 4 years now since he started making bestsellers like Our Friends Electric and Cars, and since then he's been praised as a great innovator of the brave new synthesized world, but also derided somewhat for his silly image. That image isn't helped much by the cover of his new album Warriors, on which he looks like a leather-clad heavy, sulking because his hair's just been dyed the wrong colour. Still, here's the title track. A slightly new, funky, more funky style from Mr. Newman there?
Yes, well, the trouble is that you can't tell where the fake tan ends and the hairline begins. And if his aim was to make an utterly sort of disposable alternative to an ashtray, sort of devoid of any heart, soul, emotion, wit, style, or anything, then he's made a very successful record. But one thing it has got plenty of is humour, but I think it's very one-sided. My side, and because I think that he's totally serious.
He's got very serious musicians playing on there.
Well, yes,
Bill Nelson and Dick Morrissey, people like that.
They should know better. And he seems to be sort of very he seems to be in his own little world, totally sort of obsessive and in his own world. Nothing else outside it exists, and fine, you know. But I mean, it's just like I mean, the songs are they're very well produced. The sounds very crisp and precise, but there's no ups and downs. They just all go along on one level, sort of usually ending off meandering, and occasionally he comes in to do a vocal, just sounding like he's just sort of swallowed a whole bottle of Mogadons before the session.
Annabelle, do you agree with that?
Let me think.
You like it?
I don't like the image very much, no.
What about the music?
I agree with Mark about that very much. I think the music, a lot of it has been done so much, so often. We've heard it all before, but what I was pleased was what you were saying about hearing Dick Morrissey. I love the two tracks on side one, I Am Render, and the one after it, Iceman, which have a great deal of atmosphere, more jazz, less of the dead straight along electronic. I mean, it's nice to hear him actually mixing it now. But I found it, again, it did go along level-wise.
Do you think it's right that he should be treated as a great innovator?
Probably not as a great innovator. I think he was an innovator.
All the synthesized stuff that came after him?
Yes, I think it's cruel to say that it's all completely on one level.
I think it's quite...
I think some of it's really...
He just hasn't tried, or he just doesn't care. He likes to be referred to as a rock star, sort of in inverted commas, but there's just no caring in this. I mean, look, it's just like he's given the cover to the record company art department, saying, "Here, let's see what you can make of this." And I think it all says it all in the elastic cuffs of his scuffless leather bomber jacket.
I have to say
Julian,
I couldn't get beyond laughing at the cover. I couldn't get the record out of the sleeve. I was laughing so much at the cover. Really.
I think, yeah, I don't think he cares. There's no caring or no. Or anything shown there. It's that, let's, you know, we've got to make an album. I'll get a few good musicians to back me up. But it's like that's 7 or 8 years on now for Gary Newman, and you know, you should be expecting sort of, you know, a few more sort of surprises and a few more sort of.
But was he ever an originator? He was a David Bowie clone, and you've been force-fed so much David Bowie this year that there's no room at all for Mr. Newman.
On the whole then, a hefty thumbs down for Mr. Gary Newman.